Hello everybody, welcome back to Fern Capital Management, your favorite worst hedge fund to ever f***ing exist. Welcome to the show.
Fern Capital Management.
Look at you fucking stupid bald idiot. I actually am wrong all the fucking time. Hello everybody, welcome back to the show. We have a lot of shit to talk about. If you haven't opened up your phone in the last 3 days, we kind of invaded a foreign country. A little fucking weird, huh? If you also couldn't tell by me slamming a Celsius in probably 3 seconds, I'm a little ramped up today, and I'm probably gonna crash out towards the end of this video. You smell like fucking Fritos and cheese, you fat idiot. If you enjoy the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, Fern Capital on Instagram and on TikTok. You're enjoying your time here, just, you know, maybe help us out a little bit, and we'll help you out a little bit. All right. Today's topics are going to include the overall markets, how they're doing, especially after we invaded Venezuela. Venezuela invasion itself, how I was wrong about opportunity in Venezuela. I made a fun little Instagram post the other night and got buried. So we're gonna get into that. And then finally, after that, I'm gonna just crash the fuck out, okay? So, it's gonna be a fun time. Last week we were misdirected. We were given the wrong address. We've now rerouted, and we may find the long-lost first investor of Fern Capital Management in these very woods. We may be getting closer.
Tell me about the long-lost investor.
From what I remember, because we haven't seen him in 10 years, he's a very private person, but he's a great guy. All indexes are up currently. They're breaking all-time highs. This data is from yesterday, but everything was up around 1%. Gold, of course, went through the roof because, I mean, we invaded a foreign country. So it's kind of like just what's gonna happen. There's a lot of uncertainty, and geopolitically, we're kind of causing a shitstorm. And also following gold going up, crypto also went up, which I have also been speaking about for the last 3 weeks on how it is continuing to go up. And everyone just kind of shit on me for that. So you. All right, that was our market overview. Now we're gonna get on to Venezuela. If you haven't opened up your phone in the last 3 days, we've basically Tropic Thundered Venezuela, flying in Trump's Delta Force to take Maduro, their president, into capture. We now have him in his stupid Nike tech. He's wearing a fucking Nike tech. You know how crazy that shit is? He's got Tim's on too. What is he, a fucking gangster from the Bronx? Apparently, the big reason why we invaded Venezuela was because Maduro was fucking dancing and egging on Trump in a video. Trump flew in Delta Force and captured him. The reason, apparently, why we've captured him is narco-terrorism. That is a lie. The real reason is $17 trillion of oil stores in Venezuela. And quite honestly, Trump is on some gangster shit right now. He's basically 50 Cent. Someone's talking shit about you, so you fly in, like, I think it was like 30-something airborne vehicles, bomb the shit out of a military base, capture a president and his wife, and get the fuck out of there in 30 minutes? I mean, I'm not a big fan of the guy, but that's some gangster shit, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Not only did he want control of $17 trillion in oil stores, but also probably the most valuable raw land in the world. Although Trump is on his gangster shit and did capture $17 trillion in oil stores, which is great for the US economy, there are some pretty big gaps to fill and some pretty big problems we gotta go through. Problem one, yes, we do have control over $17 trillion in oil, but it's kind of dog shit oil. It's not very quality oil. There's also not a proofed amount of how much oil stores Venezuela actually has. It's more of just like a curated number. Even then, it's not high quality oil. It's kind of just lackluster raw oil in barrels, pretty much. Also, just to add, the oil mining infrastructure in Venezuela is 25 years behind modern times, okay? It's also been just eradicated over the last 20 years, and to rebuild it would take billions of dollars. So yes, they have a ton of oil, but no infrastructure to actually mine more oil. And the third reason, Venezuela is basically the wild, wild west, okay? It's controlled by narco-terrorists and drug cartels. There is really no infrastructure. You got fucking people with guns on horsebacks over there still. So US oil companies sending in people to rebuild an infrastructure previously probably controlled by some pretty bad people doesn't really sound very great, does it? It's the greatest show. We invaded Venezuela, Nike Tech in Venezuela, the greatest country in the world, sent the Delta Force, my Delta Force, into Venezuela, helicopters, bombs exploding. And we captured Maduro, lame duck loser Maduro. The narco-terrorist president is now a cellmate with Diddy. Now for the important part. I was wrong about Venezuela. Last night I made a video on my economic perspective of this takeover, and I stated many of these previous points of concern. And I also said that there is no opportunity to trade this massive catalyst. I was wrong. Big Oil is going to spend billions in rebuilding Venezuela oil infrastructure, and since we now have even more supply of oil stores, it's predictable to say prices at the pump are going to go down. So oil companies will be making less money and spending more. The actual upside to companies will come farther down the line many years from now. But I'll say it again, I was wrong. There is an opportunity. And that would be in the engineering and construction companies that will be hired to rebuild Venezuela's oil infrastructure. Some of these names being Halliburton, ticker HAL. Halliburton Company is an American multinational corporation and the world's second largest oil service company. Responsible for most of the world's fracking operations, the company incorporated in the United States has dual headquarters located in Houston and Dubai. Technip FMC PLC, ticker FTI. Technip FMC PLC is a French-American, UK-domiciled global and oil gas company that provides services for the energy industry. The company was formed by the merger of FMC Technologies of the United States and Technip of France. The third and last name is Fluor, ticker FLR, traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Fluor Corporation is an American engineering and construction firm headquartered in Irving, Texas. It is a holding company that provides services through its subsidiaries in three main areas: oil, gas, and industrial infrastructure. Most of these names have been trending upwards for the last 6 months. That is except for Fluor. Fluor's down a little bit. Really, there's two ways how you're gonna play these names, okay? You can either insert yourself now with the hopes that the infrastructure is going to be built out semi-soon, or the second option, you can kind of wait, okay? You can wait and just have these names on your watch list. And once news is starting to ramp up and you're doing your research on, now we're going into Venezuela. I believe the meeting is in May. I think oil executives are going in May to Venezuela. You got some time, okay? You either insert yourself now or you wait till the catalyst is built up and then insert yourself into the trade. Again, this isn't me telling you what to do. It's just me providing analysis that you could interpret for your own thesis. And that is my opportunity analysis with this whole Venezuela catalyst. And now I'm gonna crash the out a little bit. What the is going on here?
I don't like you. You smell like shit. You smell like Fritos.
I'm sorry, did you spend the last 10 years just diving deep into the stock market?
Fuck you.
I've become a little financial influencer, okay? And I finally had some traction on TikTok where I got more than one comment and one like. And some of the shit I saw in my comment section is just absolutely fucking ridiculous, okay? Now this is an investment show, okay? This is an economics investment trading show. What that means is like we kind of interpret analysis for ourselves. We form our own thesis and then we execute on our thesis, okay? What we don't do is just read blurbs of headlines and pretend we know what the we're talking about all the time. I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time, okay? But I make sure if I create my own thesis, I follow my own thesis, and it plays out how I want it, then I'm doing something right. And I know this is like a thing in social media, but people are going to war in my comment section about the dumbest ever. These are people who've never talked to each other ever, and they're writing essays and paragraphs of just responses going back and forth and back and forth. Maybe if you were the president of the United States and you had all the information based on national security and global warfare and 40 decades more of experience with international business, then you would understand how these things work. You know what that sounds like to me? An utter f***ing failure.
I'm gonna send his soul down to the depths of hell. Hallelujah!
Do you motherfuckers have time on your hands or what? Okay, that is crazy. I have never in my life commented on anything ever on social media unless it's a family or a friend and it's just one little blurb of a word. But you motherfuckers are writing essays. What's gonna reel it all in, okay? This is an investment, economics, and trading show, okay? That means that's the only thing we stand for here. My political opinion doesn't matter at all, but clearly I rage baited an entire community on TikTok. And the one thing I have to say is if you're using financial news media to form your own thesis on things and you're just going with what they say and not forming your own, then you're not gonna be good at this, okay? Just because Jim Cramer says something doesn't mean you do it. Look at the inverse Kramer index. He's dog shit. I respect him a lot, great guy, but he's been wrong a lot.
I made a mistake, and I was wrong.
The biggest strength that you can have when picking stocks or like managing your own portfolio or trading is using your own thesis and following your own thesis. If you're gathering information, you just need to take it as information. If it's any opinion-based just dog shit, then you're gonna lose, okay? If you need to be able to form your own thesis. No one made money following someone else's opinion. That's just a fact. What a hypocrite. You're gonna tell us not to take your advice on investments and then just say, oh, my analysis doesn't mean anything? You, okay? I really wanna thank everyone for watching the show. We really appreciate all of you. Hopefully you gained something out of it. And please remember, I'm not a financial advisor, okay? And I'm not trying to be a scammy little schmuck idiot driving a Lamborghini. I'm just trying to provide analysis and information and maybe teach you a thing or two so you can use it in your own way and maybe help yourself out and maybe make some money and maybe kind of learn a thing or two about finance, economics, or trading.
Red Fern Capital Management.